The Edmonton Oilers have had a lot of Jays floating around the trade mill, the rumor mill, trying to figure out how to improve the defense. You got John, you got Jacob, you got Joel, all kind of in the mix there. Of course, me and Patrick there at Rogers Place hyping up, hey, there might be something happening today. And in true, typical Oilers fashion, when you got two Oilers YouTubers plotting the whole day out based around the Oilers making a move, they wait till the next day and then they go off the board. Well, not necessarily off the board if you know the Oilers' situation this year, but off the board if you're just a fan following along with the NHL team. Folks, this is Dolynny TV. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. It's my great pleasure to have you along for this afternoon's video. It is afternoon here in Alberta as I'm recording. News of Jason Demers signing a contract with the Edmonton Oilers. We'll have details on that in a matter of moments. But before we get to that, folks, we are just that close to 9,600 subscribers and that close to 9,600 minus 4 plus 400, 10,000. That's the number I'm trying to get to. I was trying to add up how I get there. And part of that is you being so kind, if you're a new viewer to Dolynny TV, hitting that subscribe button and sticking around to talk Edmonton Oilers topics, discussion, chats here on the channel. All right. Enough of me being weird aside, let's get to the graphic. That was a terrible pitch to you to subscribe, so take the next 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes me to get through the video, and judge based on that, not on the ask. All right, my friends, that's all I ask. The Oilers today have signed 34-year-old right-hand shot defenseman Jason Demers to a one-year contract. You're probably thinking, wait, who? Haven't I heard this name before? Yes, he was in training camp with the Edmonton Oilers for a little brief bit there, and then obviously didn't make the cut, was sent down to the Bakersfield Condors on a PTO, and he has since seen his PTO expire this week, and now as an alternate captain in Bakersfield, needing a role within the organization, and the Oilers needing to figure out what they're going to do with their blue line, have signed him to a contract, 1 year, $750, two-way. That makes sense? 1 year deal, two-way contract, $750K, and he has been placed on waivers for purpose of assignment to the Bakersfield Condors. So this is not, when I start the video and I say, right, the Oilers have been looking at John, Jacob, and Joel, and now they've signed Jason instead, it's not necessarily that the Oilers believe that Jason Demers is going to sign or solve their woeful defensive problems here the past couple of weeks. No, what the Oilers believe in this move, in my honest opinion, is that they now have a guy in the system that is capable of taking NHL minutes should the Oilers need to do that, right? You've got Marcus Niemelainen and you got Philip Broberg, but on the right side, you really don't have that. That guy this year was supposed to be Vinny Desharnais. However, the poor guy can't stay healthy enough to be that guy, so as he gets back up to speed, Jason Demers is another guy capable of being that guy. And for the Oilers, right, he's been playing all year, so it's not like you're signing a guy who's been sitting with his feet up in British Columbia somewhere. No, you're talking about a guy who's been working out, doing his stuff in the AHL, and not playing too badly overall. We could go over his AHL stats. That is more or less, I mean, to my Bakersfield Condors fans, I don't want to diminish what Jason Demers has done for you, but what I want to say here is that is more or less not included in why Jason Demers was signed today by the Oilers. Simply put, you need that defensive depth on the right side. Desharnais is not going to technically provide it this year, unfortunately. And for the Oilers, there's a lot of questions of that next move, right? And here's where I'm getting to with the point on John, Jacob, and Joel. Is I have made a lot of discussions, so has Patrick, so has any other Edmonton Oilers guy in the sphere of the universe, has gone out there and talked about those three guys being upgrades to the Oilers defense. The problem is all three of those guys come at a cost. You need to A, shuffle one of your 6 current defensemen, 7, 8, whatever you want to say with Ryan Murray, out of their slot in the lineup. Secondary, you need to shuffle the salary cap or more out for that guy. And I mean, it would be so easy to say, well, we can trade Puljujärvi in a pick and we can get any one of those 3 guys. Well, that's, again, guys, when you're talking about trading Puljujärvi for a 4th or 3rd round pick at best, well, shake the head a little bit there, and let's come down to earth in the fact of you have to move one of your blue liners to get a blue liner in. Now the problem is with Jacob Chychrun, with John Klingberg, and with Joel Edmondson, everyone in the Oilers nation is divided as to who's an upgrade, who's a downgrade, who makes an impact, and who doesn't. And of course, the worst fashion possible yesterday against the Ducks, John Klingberg had to score, which really sucks because now, I mean, in my view, right, is okay, well, this guy burnt you once this year, the game-winning goal against you in a game you really couldn't afford to lose, and it's the guy that you're looking at heavily acquiring, right? So it's just kind of one of those Oilers things that crops up every season, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is, simply put, for any of those three guys, you're going to have to move on from someone, and more than likely it's going to have to be someone on the right side, right? Are you moving on from Kulak? Probably not. Are you moving on from Nurse? Good luck. Are you moving on from Broberg or Niemelainen? A lot of people will say that they are great trade chips. I would not move either, simply because when Kulak is done, that's who takes that spot in the development curve both of those players are on, right? Eventually one of those two will have to be traded unless Niemelainen does just plateau as a bottom six defender, and away you go, you're fine. But on the right side, it's way too early to give up on Evan Bouchard. Cody Ceci would be a great second pair defenseman, and obviously Evan Bouchard settled into that third pair. Tyson Barrie's not a minute-munching top pair right-hand shot. He produces the points as such, but does not play the hard defensive minutes, nor is he physically fit to be that kind of player for the Oilers. I mean, arguments can be made. He's been one of the better defensive defensemen this year, but when you go across the league and you say Tyson Barrie's our best defenseman, you're going to get laughed off the stage with fellow fans of the NHL. So when you take a recollection of that, is in this, Tyson Barrie is, no matter how many things are in his favor, the most likely Oiler to be moved on the blue line, simply because of a $4.5 million cap hit, which allows you to bring someone in and save some salary cap space for the trade deadline to further upgrade this team should Ken Holland deem it necessary. Again, that's all according to whatever you want to believe, but that's the problem here. So when you suddenly talk about, well, we're going to thin out the right side, and whether you acquire Edmondson, Chychrun, or Klingberg, you're talking about losing a valuable member of your right side depth. Well, in an offsetting move, in a sense, Jason Demers is now there to shore things up, right? Is you talk about potentially acquiring Klingberg, and then all of a sudden Bouchard or Klingberg or Ceci go down. That right side is a troublesome spot for the Oilers. But now with having Jason Demers on the right side, you've kind of shored up by having a guy that can play your bottom pairing, play minutes on the penalty kill. Jason Demers has done it all before in his career, is what I'm saying. You don't need to worry. Obviously, a Chris Russell type player at this stage of his career, just a guy you can plug in. He's going to suck one night. He's going to have a better night the next, but he's not going to hurt you near as bad as having a raw rookie that's never played an NHL minute in his life in that spot, right? And that's all this Jason Demers move realistically is for the Oilers. Is there's more moves to come. Something's going to happen eventually. It's guaranteed. I mean, everybody can say Ken Holland is blind to the problems all you want. Ken Holland fired Dave Tippett at the right time and hired Jay Woodcroft, and the rest is history. We went to the third round of the playoffs last year. So now, when the Oilers are mired in about the same subpar start to the year that they had by this time, December 18th, 2021, you know what? A move needs to be made. This one, however minor, can eventually lead to that big move later down the road in January, February that needs to be made. Hey, maybe even today or before the deadline tomorrow. And the Oilers can hunky-dory fix up a couple of problems because Ken Holland, I mean, guys, here's the thing, right? Is if you and I can see the Oilers have a problem, Ken Holland can see the Oilers have a problem. He has not had a career this long in hockey because he doesn't see problems, right? So, I mean, you make fun of the Oilers management and coaching staff all you want. They're not oblivious. That's what a lot of people accuse them of being. They are not. So, in that, right now, this is one of those precursor moves that needs to be done to do what the Oilers need to do to solve their problems. So, Jason Demers signed to a 1-year, $750,000 deal, two-way contract assigned to the Bakersfield Condors. There in case the next move has a glitch in the system, right? An injury takes longer than needed, and there's an injury, whatever the key might be for the Oilers. He's there waiting now for Ken Holland to make the next move. Folks, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. There we go. I think that was much better than how I asked you to subscribe. So that 5-10 minutes I told you, there you have it. Let me know. Consider hitting that button. And secondary too, if you enjoyed today's video, let me know by leaving a like on the video. Friends, I am up on out of here. I will catch you in the next one.